How long have you guys been friends?
I'll let you.
Years.
Okay.
Well, according to her definition of friendship, I would say as of late we've been on a closer journey.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been knowing each other for about 9 years.
That's a good answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We met at work.
We both work on the PATH train, so we're both train buffs. She works on the inside. I'm on the train as a conductor, and she's in charge of all the lights. Imagine like a stoplight. So she's the one that makes them go red, green, and controls them. I think we met through a mutual friend actually.
Who?
Moya.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is
So
true.
Moya was the one that introduced us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we met through a mutual friend. Her name was Moya, and she introduced us. And then from there, we were three persons hanging out together. And then I think we just gravitated towards each other. We were more sane.
Got you.
So I wouldn't call it a challenge, because I think when the first serious conversation that we had, we were talking, and I had the conversation with you, telling you that you have to be careful at the job, and not everyone is your friends, and friendship is determined by going through some stuff. It's like a relationship, right? So the way that you navigate through the trials that you experience within the friendship is going to determine if it has right, because at the job it's so easily, because it's a lot of us, it's the railroad, it's like a lot of people, and you meet different people, different characters, and it's easily to say, just because you talk, oh, that's my friend. And so I had the conversation with her, and then she came to me and confided in me about something, and I gave her advice about a particular individual, and she went and told the individual what I said.
Okay.
So that, I think, that's a challenge, right?
Yeah.
So how do we navigate through that?
I think, Iris and I have about, more than 15 years age difference.
No, is it?
Is it?
I don't think so.
Well, I would say more than 10.
10, maybe.
More than 10.
Yeah, 10. No.
10 plus.
10
yes.
plus, but not.
So I think when I started PATH, I was just, I was young. I was in my younger 20s, and she was at an age where she was more mature and more experienced in a lot of things. And she gave me the best advice. She said, listen, you're going to come here. If you're still friends with people after 7 years, then those people are what you're going to call your friends. But just be careful. And so I had to learn the hard way, obviously. I started calling a lot of people my friends, and one thing's led to another, and then I learned my lesson. Put it like that. I got burnt.
Okay.
Right? And then
but how did we navigate through that little thing?
It was always her being that mature sisterly advice. She would always give me that advice. Like, although I did things early on that went against what she had told me, she still stood around.
Okay.
She's still there.
So loyalty.
It was just 1,000% loyalty, and I guess she saw something more in me, and she stuck by with everything, and here we are. 9 years later, right?
Yeah. And counting.
I think that started off with Iris being more spiritual early on, and me just finding my journey, just starting my journey. A lot of things was happening with me, and so I was just on edge, and I kept saying, well, what's going on? I can't talk to friends. The advice I was receiving from them, it wasn't enough for me, so I just started picking up the Bible, and I started reading. I was confessing, and that's how it started. And then one day I reached out to her.
And I needed you when you reached out to me, actually.
Right, and she was going through things.
Yeah.
I think you had lost your mom.
Yep.
And I was just telling her, I said, hey, I've been reading the Bible, and it's been working out for me. It's helped me to gain confidence. It's renewed me. I feel great after I read, and I think you should, pick it up. And from there, we've been really connected with that.
Yeah.
I would say, as far as us and going through navigating through life, it's one of those things where you have to be grounded. So you have to be grounded in your faith and also in the things around you. So my whole thing with encouragement is some days it's going to be really hard. You're going to go through those obstacles, and you have to be grounded. You have to go back to the center of that, which is God, and know that He has a greater purpose for you. At the end of the day, even with things that we want, because we both single, and we both want marriage. So in my encouragement, it may not happen next year or this year or 2-3 years from now. But my encouragement for you is just to know that you have to be grounded. Go to the center first, because God knows what we want, even the things that we don't even mention. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine's for her. You know what I tell you already. I hope you're working on your discernment. Okay.
Yes.
You have to discern a little better. You're a sweet person.
Thank you.
You always have that little smile. Okay, first of all, you have 3 beautiful girls, right? So I would encourage you to keep instilling in them, teach them about God, teach them about who you serve, help God, pray to God to help you to raise them in the right way. So as far as your kids, I would like you to be fully engaged. And I keep telling her about intentionality in everything that you do. I want you to be intentional about it. If be it with your children, your friends, your family. Overall, I want you to be happy. And happiness, I know before we were talking about getting married and all of that, but happiness starts with you.
Of course.
So once you're happy, then it just, so I just want you to be happy overall.
Thank you.
I love you too. Okay, so friendships. I always say you have to know your audience. I always tell her that, right?
Correct.
And knowing your audience for me is that once you embark on a friendship, we use that word very lightly. You notice how we throw around the term friendship, but friendship is like a relationship. You're going to go through some stuff, and you have to ask yourself, this person that I'm trying to build something with, is it worth it, right? Once you can answer the question and say, yes, it's worth it, then you guys will go through some stuff, and you have to know that person, respect that person's boundaries, know how to engage, when to engage and when not to engage. Like in a relationship, there's times that she might think she's right, and I have to say, okay, I'll let you have this one. There's times that she have to let me have, And like I said, it's just like a relationship. But the first step in engaging on any friendship is intentionality, and like I said, knowing your audience and respecting each other's boundaries.
For me, I think friendship is definitely, like she said, like a relationship. And so one of the most important aspects is just having respect for each other. We're not always going to agree on things, and so in the disagreement, instead of having discourse, shouting and all that stuff, we can just have conversations where we agree to disagree. And friendship is about consistency too. So I think one of those aspects of just what it encompasses is consistency. So for me, even though we may need space apart, it's just how long would that, it don't have to be months going by, a check-in, a text, that sort of stuff for me is a part of friendship, checking in. You want to feel like your friends care in a certain aspect. And so, like she said too, another thing is knowing your audience is so true, because we're very different. Like Christianity and our faith is like the center that glues us together. We call each other spiritual sisters, right? But, she have her different friends that she gravitates towards, and I have my different friends. But at the end of the day, we see something in each other. Like, I love Iris. I tell her that. Like, I love her, and so I want the best for her. So despite me may not living up to certain standards or certain things that she may do for herself, it doesn't mean that I don't feel for you the same way. Everybody has different way of handling things. So I just want you to, accept your friends for who they are, and work past the differences in what they bring to the table.
Okay, I want to piggyback off of something that she said about consistency. So this is a thing that friends should talk about. Consistency isn't needed in a friendship, because I have friends that I don't speak to in a year or two, but when we do speak, it's like we never broke apart. So that comes with maturity and the level. So each friendship is different. For you, I think with you, that's what you require from me and probably from your friends. But I have other friends that may not require that. And that's why I said you have to know your audience, because not everybody requires the same thing. So with you saying that consistency for you, it's consistency, but probably for someone else, it's not. Maybe it's something else. I have a question. It's not more so of a comment. Do you feel that in friendship, one person may think highly of one than the other? So like I can think Nelly is, oh my God, and I'm putting all into her, but she don't look at me in the same manner or think of the same level of the friend. And it happens a lot in the friendship, right? And so I might be putting a lot into her and she's not looking at me in the same, on the same level, but then she is doing that for someone else. So I also think that that has to be recognized. And when you're dealing with people, like what level are they bringing to that? Where do you stand? Yeah, where do you stand with that person?
For me, I feel like a friendship is like a relationship. You have to be consistent. You can't, like, there's no need to take a pause from a friend unless you guys are quarreling to the point where it becomes toxic. And so if that hasn't happened, which I don't think it happened between us, if that's not happening, now to take a break without having communication and saying, you know, I'm at my wit's end, this is what's happening with me, I'm dealing with something personal, versus just doing that, just falling back without notifying your friend. For me, I think that's something that's just, it creates more problem. And it creates unnecessarily problem because now your mind is wandering, like, what did I do? What happened? What was the situation that led to this point? And so that's why I think communication is really key. And when it comes to, you know, the emotional aspect of it, so we said being sensitive. So being sensitive is something that, yeah, for me, I am more of the sensitive person because I care a lot. So I always say I want to treat people the way I want them to treat me. And so I want to be treated the same way how I treated them. And it goes down to just the way how we perceive things, how we say things, and you know, how you communicate something. You could bring your point across and say something, but it's not just always like what you say, it's just how you say it. So for me, that's like important. You have to say things with love, and it's not just saying it, but it's just like how you convey it. And I think that's like really important because you want your friends to care. You want your friends to show you the same love that you show. And at the end of the day, yeah, the full fruit of the Spirit, be meek and, you know, long suffering and all that stuff. But you really want to like put forward all of that into just saying that I'm here for you. No matter what, I'm going to love you. And, you know, when I say things in whatever I say, it's out of love. And yeah.
To give to the production of Fruitful Creations, you can donate via the GoFundMe link below in the description box. Thank you for your contribution.